Hi, welcome. My name is Becca Holmes. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing yoga to open the hips for your third trimester. So we will be focusing on both internal and external rotation because general hip mobility is going to be important during labor. So we're gonna play with a lot of hip opening this way and internally, right? I think the internal gets avoided often. So we're gonna do a little bit of both. And we're going to start in a hero's pose. So let's go ahead and start here. Make sure you do have some blocks handy. You might need 2 or 3, maybe even 4, but you can definitely make do with just 2, okay? So we're gonna start here in our hero's pose. I am sitting on a block, and then you'll notice that I'm creeping my feet out to the sides. So that's allowing my knees to turn in, my thighs to turn in towards each other, that internal rotation. So this internal rotation actually widens parts of our pelvis, right? So just a totally different movement from opening the hips, say if we were in a butterfly. So we want to focus on both when we're working on hip mobility, which again is going to be key during your labor. So settle into this hero's pose. And if you're feeling some sensation here, you don't have to feel a lot for it to be doing some work in your body, right? But if you're feeling like nothing and you're super bendy still, you may try removing the block and sitting in between the feet. Now that's not even available to me when I'm not 34 weeks pregnant. So I'm gonna chill here in this supported hero, still getting that internal rotation. So just pause here and take a few breaths. And as always, we want to bring our attention to the breath. First, just bringing awareness to it. I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling. And then beginning to utilize the breath to breathe that life force, that prana into our bodies, bringing that energy and sending it through our entire system. And once you feel grounded after maybe 10 rounds of breath or so, we're going to shift into a tabletop. So let's keep our blocks handy, but you won't need it for this first part. Coming into a tabletop position. And then we're just going to start getting some movement in the hips. So start shaking them side to side. And then of course, as they're attached to the spine, and honestly, just because cat-cow is my favorite, especially tabletop cat-cow in pregnancy. Let's get some of those in. So let's inhale, look forward, pushing the chest forward. Exhale, relax and drop the head, tucking baby into the spine. And again, inhale for your cow. Exhale, angry cat. Or stretching cat. I like that better. And then find neutral and let's just do some hip circles, right? So taking the right foot first. Sorry, this naturally happened. I'm wagging my hips again. This is good, right? It's your yoga practice when you start doing whatever feels good. So let's take our right leg up and then just do some hip circles. First in one direction, maybe inward. Once you've done about 5, let's switch directions. My yoga pants are very loud. That's funny. And then go ahead and drop that down. And then let's move to the left. In, I did in first, right? So we'll do about 5. And then external. Other direction. And then come back to your tabletop. I usually feel the need to do a little wiggle here or one cat-cow just to kind of neutralize myself. Now we're gonna play with we're gonna play with pregnancy brain. I'm leaving this in the video. I forgot. Groin stretching. There you go. Look, it's real life. We're just leaving it in. So go ahead and stick your left foot all the way out to the side. And so we're gonna keep our hips square, and you might need to shift a little bit, but make sure that your right leg stays perpendicular with the mat, right? That you have a 90 degrees, so we don't wanna pop the right hip out. But right here, working on a little bit of tension in the left glute, and then opening up the left groin area. Bring your gaze forward, and then just breathe into that. Holding here for about 5 breaths. Nice and easy. We're just getting started here, so it doesn't have to be anything too intense. And then we're just gonna bring that left foot back in, adjust as you need to, and then right foot goes out to the side. And again, trying not to pop the left hip out, but tuck it back under so that you have some stability here on the left side and in the center, and everything's going into the right groin. Hold here about 5 breaths. Nice and easy, just starting to kind of feel where we're opening the hips. Maybe you rock forward and back too to find that best stretch for you. And then bring the right knee back in. And then we're going to do a little bit of a workout, okay? So it's not gonna be super intense or super long, but we gotta keep moving all of that synovial fluid through our hip joint, as well as keeping all the muscles in the hips strong, right? So it's not just about loosening, stretching, because I mean, we do have relaxin helping us with that, with our tendons and ligaments, but we also wanna strengthen the muscles, okay? So what you're gonna do, you can watch me first, you're gonna bring the left knee straight up and back, and then you're gonna bring it out to the side and then down, okay? So let's do 5 of those. So knee comes back, out, down. Inhale, back, out, exhale, down. Ready? So inhaling as we come back to the side, and then exhale down. 2 more. Inhale, back to the side. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, up, and then to the side, and then exhale, release, okay? Take a minute, wiggle that out. Now, other side. So it's the right knee coming up behind you on an inhale, shift to the side, exhale, release. Inhale, foot comes back, shift to the side, exhale, release. And again, inhale, back up, come to the side, relax down. Last one, inhale, up behind you, to the side, and then relax down. Go ahead and wiggle that out, work it out. Maybe you take a cat-cow, maybe you take a quick rest here in hero's pose, whatever you need to do to kind of come back neutral. That was a little bit of work, yeah? All right, so take rest for a second, take a couple breaths. Okay, when you're ready, we are going to flow a little bit. So we're moving into a downward facing dog. If this is not in your practice anymore, tabletop is fine, because I understand there are heartburn days when down dog is just not happening anymore, right? So you can hang here in tabletop. Ultimately, we're just working our way to standing, to Tadasana. So you can transition from tabletop, no problem. So let's take either our tabletop or our down dog. If you're in tabletop, take a couple more cat-cows. And if you're taking down dog with me, let's rest our heels towards the earth. Pressure in the fingertips. Make sure we're using both our hands and feet here so they have even pressure. Knees can be slightly bent. Chest comes back. And just enjoy that nice stretch in the back of the legs. You can walk your dog out bending either knee. And also might feel good to wag the hips from side to side. So just play with it. Let this feel really good. Keeping your attention on the hips. We are opening the hips, right? So even if we're doing postures that don't feel like hip openers, if you put your intention towards the hips and breathe into that space, you'll feel sensation there. So after about 5 breaths, or whenever it feels good, let's bring our gaze up in between our hands, and we're gonna work our way into a forward fold, taking our time, getting into our Tadasana. So, nice and gingerly, I'm gonna grab my blocks and just take my time, get into a forward fold. Bring your feet super wide. You'll see why soon. So let's have our feet as wide as the mat. And then fall into a deep forward fold. You can bend the knees really deep. You can even rest the forearms on the knees. You can also rest your hands on your blocks. Whatever is allowing you to feel the best right now and has space for baby as well. And then let's inhale to a half lift, taking your time coming to Tadasana. So half lift, legs go straight, back is parallel to the floor. Exhale to that fold again, relaxing the head, and then slowly roll up. Let's start with the very bottom of the spine. Nice and slow. Shoulders roll up, back, down, head comes up. Find a Tadasana, palms facing forward. Eyes can be open or closed. Just check how you're feeling as far as stability. And I know sometimes I'm getting a little dizzy now, lots of extra blood flow and things going on. And then I'll invite you to set an intention for this class if you wish at this time. You might just want to focus on keeping the hips open. You might want to make it a little more spiritual or energetic. For me, I always try to bring in some kind of spiritual intention into my practice. So for me, with open hips today, I'm going to focus on that energy that my hips are preparing to bring a new soul into this earth. So every feeling that I'm having, whether it's tension, pain, pressure, sensations, I'll try not to use the P word actually, I just realized I did, but we'll say discomfort, right? These are all part of the experience of bringing this new soul into the earth plane. So I'm going to invite in all of those different sensations. And then now we'll move into a modified half sun salutation that involves a squat. So I'll show you one and then we'll do 3 together. So first, let's inhale the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, come into your forward fold, bending the knees. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then now we shift, exhale, into a squat. So that's the difference, right? And so your squat might be like mine, right? Heels up, totally fine. If this feels good, you can balance here. Otherwise, this is where you might want a third block to rest right under the bum. Or if you feel balanced, you can float. Try bringing the elbows to the knees, hands come into the heart. We're gonna hold here in this squat for 3 breaths. Try to bring the heart space up, keeping the spine nice and long. And then after 3 breaths, shifting back into our forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale into the heart center. Okay, so that's this kind of modified sort of half sun salutation. At this point, it's not even a sun salutation, but you understand the flow. The first part is. So for those who practice kind of a more traditional yoga, which I typically do, you'll understand that first part. So let's do 3 of those together. I'll guide us straight through on each inhale, exhale. We'll keep moving except for the squat. We'll hold for 3 breaths. Inhale, arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Relax the head, bending the knees. Inhale, half lift, spine parallel to the mat. Exhale, booty drops, coming into the squat. Hands to heart center, hold 3 breaths. Gaze is up, head is up, chin is up. After your 3rd breath, inhale, drop the hands. Exhale, return to your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, straight spine again. Exhale, folding again, relax the head. Inhale, use your leg strength, return to rise. Exhale, palms into the heart. Keep it moving. Inhale, second one. Hands touch overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, pushing away from the blocks. Exhale, coming into that squat. Hands come heart center. Can they push a little closer together? Can they push a little further down? Bringing the elbows to the knees, pushing them open, inviting this hip space. Lots of room for baby to come out. And release it. Inhale, hands to the blocks. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, come to your halfway lift. Exhale, relax in your fold again. As you prepare, inhale, coming all the way to standing. Exhale, bring it into the heart. And last one. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half lift, slight bend in the knees if you need. Exhale, finding the squat. Can you sink the booty down just a little bit further? Can you invite the heels towards the earth a little closer? Final breath. And inhale, prepare. Exhale, come to your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way to rising. Exhale, hands into the heart. Pause here in your Tadasana. I'm going to heel toe my feet in just a little bit. We had it wide for the squat. And then might feel good to sway a little bit side to side. Just kind of tapping into the hips and seeing how they're feeling so far. And then eventually finding stillness and pause here. Now we're moving into triangle. So let's just step the left foot open and then grab one of your blocks. So with our feet about one leg's distance, and you can play with this again, you might find different variations is what you need during pregnancy and different times in your pregnancy, okay? My early 2nd trimester practice looked a lot like my pre-pregnancy practice. Now, looks very different. Okay, so let's turn our right foot out, and then our left foot, the heel's gonna slightly turn out so that we're not quite perpendicular. We're gonna hold our block in our right hand, inhale the arms open, exhale, drop your block to the inside of your right foot, and then the left hand comes open. So pressure in the back side of the back foot, pressure in the front toe, front knee is slightly bent, Your gaze can come up to your outreached extended hand, or it can come down to the hand on the block if you need that balance and grounding. And then hold here for 5 breaths. Find some stillness and breathe into that right groin and hip area. 2 more breaths. And let's take our time shifting. Gaze comes down to the right hand as the left hip drops. Left hand to the hip, sorry. Bend that front knee for support as you come out, lifting the block. Shift hands with your blocks. Your right foot's gonna turn in. Left foot prepares you for the other side. Again, left or right heel slightly turned out. With your block, inhale, arms open. Exhale, dropping the block to the inside of the left foot. Right arm comes up. And again, find your gaze up at your right fingers or down at your left fingers. Noticing where you're feeling this in your front leg and maybe even in the back glute. Hold here. Last breath. And drop the gaze as you drop the right hand to the right hip, bending the left knee, coming out nice and slow. Transition back to the right side. We want a little bit of a wider stance, and we're moving into our side angle. So for side angle, you might find your block here on the outside. This also might be a little too deep, depends on how much space you've got. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up. I don't have as much space as I did, so you can also rest your forearm here. And then the back arm comes across and in front of your body, like this. And then we're gonna hold here and breathe. And again, feel where that's opening in both hips, the right specifically. 3 more breaths. Feel the strength in your legs supporting you. And then bring that top hand back to the hip, grab your block as we switch to the other side. So again, playing with your block on the outside of your foot, or to create more space, just bring the left forearm to the left thigh, and then pushing through the back edge of that back foot. Really have stability in your legs. You should be able to lift this arm, okay? Legs are holding us up, not this, right? Good, okay. Right arm comes across and in front. Whew. Bend into that front leg. And then feel that opening here. Breathe into the opening. Hold. 3 more breaths. Let's make them long ones. And last one. Okay, let's transition back to the middle. And then grab both of your blocks, moving into a wide-legged forward fold. So with the feet parallel facing forward, set your blocks right underneath your shoulders so that it really feels and looks like a halfway lift, okay, from this wide-legged stance. Just kind of play with that. So, right, let's hold here. Inhale, this halfway lift. And then exhale into your fold. So your hands might be able to come to the mat. Your forward fold also might stay here. That's totally fine. Just kind of play with where you're at today, how that feels. Rest, hold, 5 breaths. After your 5 breaths, slowly transition up, and then you might want to heel toe the feet in, bend the knees as you come up, okay? Whew. Let's set our blocks aside. Now, our last standing posture, goddess squats. We're only going to do 5, so let's bring our feet wide, and this time we're going to bring our toes out about 45 degrees, okay? Inhale the arms up. So we're in a starfish position, jazz hands, fingers wide. Exhale, goalpost arms coming into a squat, trying to keep our spine up as much as possible without bending forward, right? Okay, inhale up. Whoo, exhale, squat. Inhale up, exhale, squat. Whew, you can do it. 3 more. That's more than 5, I know. It's okay, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Last one. Whoo, squat, hold it. Hold, hold. Whoo, inhale up. My gosh, shake it out. My goodness. Notice how that feels. That's quite a hip opener, quite a hip activator, right? Okay, let's find Tadasana. You can come to the top of your mat or you can just face me. And again, just using this to recenter and pause and breathe. Palms facing forward. Find your intention. Okay, and then let's find a seat. Ooh. So I'm gonna find a hero's pose. We just did a lot of hip openers for external rotation. So we're gonna do a little bit of internal rotation. So where's my block? I'm gonna pause here in hero again. Creeping the feet out, knees are in. That internal rotation of the thigh bone. We are slowing down a bit too. Done with our flows, done with our standing postures. So allow the breath to deepen and slow down. Okay, now we're moving into a half hero forward fold. So if you're good on your block here, then we can just bring the right leg out. And I would say if you're feeling sensation on the block, probably just stay there, or you can also shift to a cushion. That way you just have a little bit of softness. So here's my cushion. You can use any pillow, any bolster. And so we're keeping that internal rotation as we drop into a forward fold. And the forward fold can land anywhere. Again, I don't have a ton of space. So my forward fold lands here, and that's great. We're focusing on the internal rotation of the thighs here and the hips. And just hold here for 5 breaths. And then let's come up, bringing the right foot back, and then left foot extends. And again, just kind of making sure your focus is on that hips and the rotation. Don't worry so much about the extended leg and the forward fold, what it looks like, right? And then find some stillness here. Put a bend in the knee, that's totally fine. And then hold 5 breaths. And then after your 5th breath, coming back up, return the left leg into that hero pose, and then pause right here and breathe. All right, we'll transition into a deer pose, which you may or may not want your cushion. So let's play with it, take our time getting in. So this looks like the right leg coming forward. The left leg can stay right where it just was, right? So the right leg comes forward in kind of a pigeon pose. So now we've got our shin here facing forward. And then, so we've got an open, right, external rotation of the hip with our right, internal with the left. Now, I messed up, I need my blocks. Okay, we're gonna hold this for 10 breaths. And so you're gonna shift forward directly over that front shin. And you might be flat on the mat too. I find it really helpful to have a cushion or a pillow, but find what's working for you today. And then hold here, settle in for 10 breaths. Allowing any discomfort, any sensations, any feelings you're having to come, breathe through it and pass. Allow it to come, don't resist it, right? Breathe into that discomfort. Let it pass. We definitely don't ever want to feel any pain in our yoga practice. So if you're feeling pain, back out a lot, even all the way up, okay? Hold here for about 5 more breaths. And then walk yourself up nice and slowly. Bring that right foot back so that you come through your hero pose again. And just kind of transition slowly here. You can pause here for a breath or two. Okay, and then when you're ready, this left leg now comes across in front. And notice if there's any different sensations here. I'm definitely feeling like I can't go as deep. Totally fine. So for my rest, I might even stay higher up. I might just stay right here, and that's totally fine. Holding again for 10 breaths, trying to keep both of your hip bones, your sit bones, into the mat. So you don't want to be tipping too close over here to the left as we're in this posture. And again, breathing through any discomfort, noticing and allowing all sensations, inviting them in as a vital part of this experience as we open this portal for this new life to come in. All right, after 10, slowly come up. Let's place our blocks up here in front of us. Shift back, come into your hero pose again. Okay. Bring the feet wide, knees come in to each other. Pause here and breathe. And then we will finish the practice with frog pose. Now this one can be really intense. So if it gets too intense, I'm gonna put you right in a child's pose, okay? Because we can still get into our hips. So I'm gonna say, grab pillows, grab cushions to support this frog pose. So as you come up, we're going to be kind of in like a tabletop as you see here. And then allow the shins to be parallel to your mat, but then allow the knees to come open, okay? So not in pregnancy, you might be flat on the mat here. I'm never quite that open in this direction, but for pregnancy, you see I've got room for baby here. I'm nice and supported, and I can definitely still feel that without it being way too intense. And then you might come to your forearms here, and you might use your blocks for support. So just kind of play with it. And again, if this is too intense, we don't want intense, we don't want painful, you can come into child's pose. But otherwise, get comfy in this discomfort. And again, just bringing the breath into this hip space into all of this energy of opening. Everything is opening, allowing this experience of birth, of labor, of this new life and new soul to come into this consciousness, okay? So go ahead and relax here. Holding here for 10 breaths. And then after 10, let's take our time coming out, and it might feel really good to come up here first, then bring the heels in, right? That releases the intensity so that we can sit back, bring the knees in, and then sitting up on our cushions. Nice and slow transition. You feeling it? I'm feeling it. Okay. Let's work our way to a final tabletop, just so you can come to any kind of neutralizing posture you need to after all of that hip work we did. Maybe you're wagging the hips out. Maybe you're doing a couple tabletop or cat-cows, I mean. And then once you're done, bring your feet forward and then shift back. And then hands come behind you. Feet are about hip width distance. Support yourself up here and then just let the hips rock side to side. We did lots of hip opening in both directions. So let's just loosen it out. And then once you feel good there, now Shavasana. Ah, yes. Grab your bolsters, grab your pillows, your cushions, find your side lying Shavasana. Whew. Get there however you can. Can you guys sense my struggle? 34 weeks and 4 days, 34 and a half weeks. It's okay. We got there. We're here. Go ahead and rest. Rest, rest, rest. Sink into your mat. Come back to your intention. This inviting in all of these sensations, the discomfort, the opening. Everything in this experience that's allowing me to invite in a new soul. So I invite you to sit here in meditation, let the body completely relax and sink into the earth. Let your body take the practice in so that we come up energized. We'll rest here for a few minutes together. And then you can finish out the class with me or rest even longer if you need to. If you're ready, go ahead and start to wake up with me, blinking the eyes open. Taking a deep breath in. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Wiggling the toes, starting with the fingers. Maybe taking a stretch. And then using your upper body, arm strength, to carry the weight and push you up. We don't want to put any pressure on our core. Let's find a seat. Hands at heart center, eyes come closed. And we finish with an Om together. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be with you on your pregnancy journey. I hope you found some opening in this class today, whether it be in the hips or maybe in the heart. So I hope that it served you well. Please share in the comments how you're doing. I want to hear how you are feeling. How are you emotionally? How's your body? How's this experience for you? It's different for all of us, and we are here to support each other. So I want to hear about your pregnancy journey and how else I might support you through yoga. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get notified of my new classes every week. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.